The surprising reason why seniors are happier without friends after 70. Hello, I am Dr. David. Throughout more than 30 years of working in the field of geriatrics, I have interacted with thousands of elderly men and women between the ages of 70 and 100. There is a question that has always preoccupied me. Why, at the same age, do some people live in anxiety and loneliness despite being surrounded by children and friends, while others live extremely content and happy lives even when they are alone? We are often taught that friends are the support in old age, and the more friends you have, the less lonely you are. But medical and psychological facts point to the exact opposite. After the age of 70, the happiest and healthiest people are those who know how to stop depending on friends. It sounds extreme, even absurd, doesn't it? But today, I want to invite you to join me on a journey of soul discovery. We are not talking about isolation. We are talking about absolute freedom. I will prove to you why simplifying your social circle is the miracle drug that saves the mind and heart and extends your lifespan. Today's video will be very long because this is a deep dialogue between you and me. Prepare yourself a warm cup of tea and sit down comfortably, because what I am about to share could completely change how you view these golden years of your life. Before we go deep into our conversation, I have a small request. If you are in your twilight years, or if you have parents at this age and you truly care about a long and peaceful lifestyle, please press the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Our channel does not just share information about medicine or pathology. It is a place where we learn to nurture an indomitable spirit against time. Your support, whether it is a single subscription or a like, is the greatest encouragement for me to continue researching and bringing these values to you. And right now, please leave a greeting in the comments, such as, I am, your name. I am watching from, your city. I will try to read and reply to each one so that we can truly become soulmates. My friends, remember when we were 20, 30, or 40 years old. At that time, our value was defined by the outside world. A good job, a happy family, and a large circle of friends. We looked in the mirror through the eyes of others. If friends praised us for being good, we were happy. If they forgot to invite us to a party, we felt hurt. But listen to me from a doctor's perspective. By the age of 70, if you are still looking in the mirror through the eyes of others, you are poisoning your own nervous system. Why can waiting for a call from an old friend cause stress? When you expect something, your brain is always in a state of waiting. In medicine, this prolonged state of waiting activates the amygdala, causing the body to release small but continuous amounts of cortisol, the stress hormone. After 70, blood vessels are no longer as flexible as they used to be, and the heart can no longer withstand sudden contractions. Feeling sad because a friend broke a promise or feeling hurt because you saw an old group of friends hanging out without calling you actually increases blood pressure and puts pressure on the blood vessel walls. On the contrary, when you reach a state of emotional independence, it means your happiness no longer lies in someone else's pocket. You wake up and feel happy because the sun is shining beautifully or because the coffee smells good, not because your phone has a message notification. At this point, the brain enters a true state of rest. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated, helping to stabilize the heart rate and improve digestive function. I always tell my patients, learn to be your own friend. When you know how to create your own joy, you become immortal in happiness. Because that source of joy is eternal. No one has the right to grant it, and no one has the right to take it away from you. Next, we will talk about a very practical issue: drama and toxic relationships. Many people entering their 70s still try to maintain friend groups from university or their working days. They think it is loyalty, but sometimes it is a fatal mistake. Do you see gatherings where everyone spends their time complaining about illnesses, bad-mouthing daughters-in-law or sons-in-law, or bragging about assets? At 70, your energy is like a battery that has been used for many years. It only has about 20 to 30% capacity compared to your youth. You must use it to walk, to breathe, to digest, and to think. Yet, you take 10% of that precious energy to sit and listen to a friend complain for 2 hours? That is a terrible waste. In geriatric medicine, we call this emotional labor. When you have to force a smile, comfort someone you don't really want to, or suppress your discomfort, an internal war is happening within your body. Scientific studies have proven Stress from negative social relationships in the elderly increases the level of C-reactive protein, CRP, in the blood, a sign of chronic inflammation. This inflammation is the culprit leading to arthritis, memory loss, Alzheimer's, and cardiovascular diseases. I advise you, bravely fire the friends who do not bring positivity. You don't need to argue. Just quietly step back. Do not feel guilty. Remember, not everyone deserves to be present in the final chapters of your life story. Save space for those who make your soul quiet when you are with them, or better yet, save space for your own silence. Peace at this time is not a luxury choice. It is a survival requirement to protect your health. Friends, if you agree with me that at this age, peace and a good night's sleep are worth more than 1,000 praises or superficial social relationships, please type the number 2 in the comments below. This number 2 is a symbol of understanding between you and me. It is an affirmation that we choose quality over quantity. My dear friends, imagine our bodies at 70 like a phone that has been used for many years. The battery no longer charges as fast as before, and the capacity is no longer enough to run too many applications at once. In medicine, we call this the decline of biological reserve. We are no longer the resilient machines of our 40s who could work, take care of a family, and stay up late hanging out with friends. This is the time when we must turn on the optimal energy-saving mode. In life, there are relationships that I call energy vampires. Do you recognize anyone in your phone contacts who only appears when they need something? A piece of advice? A loan? Or simply an emotional trash can to dump their feelings into? At the age of 70, every minute of yours is a diamond. If you spend it on people who only know how to take and never build up, you are destroying yourself. This imbalance leaves your nervous system in a state of being drained. A true friendship after 70 must be resonance. A place where both find lightness, not one side carrying the other. In contrast to the noise of the crowd, I want to introduce you to communicating with the soul. Many people are afraid to walk alone or sit and drink tea alone because they fear the feeling of being abandoned. But from a geriatric perspective, quiet habits like walking under the trees, caring for a flower, or reading a favorite book are when the brain is most strongly regenerated. When you walk alone in relaxation, the brain releases endorphins and serotonin, self-generated happiness hormones. You don't need someone to praise your beauty or talk to you to feel happy. You are happy because of your own existence in that moment. That is the pinnacle of mental health. There is one thing I always want to congratulate my patients on when they reach the age of 70. Congratulations on receiving the permanent certificate of freedom. For the past 70 years, who have you lived for? For your parents, for your children, for your career, and for the prejudices of society. You have spent your whole life answering questions like, what will they think of me? Or, should I attend this wedding even though I am tired? Now tear up those invoices. You no longer owe this world any explanation for your absence. Distinguish very clearly. Connection is when you truly want to meet someone because of affection, whereas obligation is when you show up because you are afraid of being judged. Fake social obligation is the enemy of longevity. Every time you force yourself to join a noisy gathering when your heart just wants to stay home, your heart has to beat faster, your breath becomes shorter, and your brain has to work at full capacity to maintain superficial social conversations. Is it worth it? At this age, your greatest power is the right to refuse. Saying no to an unsuitable invitation is saying yes to your own health. I want to ask honestly, have you ever felt extremely relieved when an appointment was canceled at the last minute? Or have you ever bravely refused a noisy party to stay home and enjoy a good book? If you have ever experienced that wonderful feeling of freedom, please share your story in the comments at number 4. I promise to read and respond so that we can spread this living for yourself spirit to the community. Finally, we reach the pinnacle of the journey. Inner peace. The definition of happiness changes over time. If youth is a surge of waves, the excitement of standing in a crowd, then old age is a flat lake. Happiness now does not lie in the heat of the fun, but in the depth of the soul. Many people confuse these two concepts. Loneliness is a painful state, where you feel abandoned and long for fulfillment from the outside. Solitude, on the other hand, is a proactive choice. It is when you protect your own peace. Those who choose solitude after 70 are the ones with the richest souls. They don't need anyone to entertain them because they are their own best friend. Medicine proves that people who love silence have a better ability to control their emotions and are less likely to fall into depression compared to those who always fear being alone. From a neurological perspective, silence has an amazing effect on the hippocampus, the place that manages memory and emotions. When you live in an environment with less disturbance, less drama, and less dependence, this area of the brain relaxes, minimizing the risk of brain atrophy and memory loss syndromes. Living quietly is the best way to maintain your brain. My dear friends, we have gone through a long journey of thought together. Age 70 is not the sunset, nor is it the end of relationships. It is the dawn of freedom. When you decide to stop depending on friends, it does not mean you are closing your heart. It means you are opening the door to welcome yourself back home. Life is still calling you in a very different way. It lies in the beauty of an early morning, in the light touch of the wind, or in the satisfaction of seeing a plant you water every day. You have spent your whole life pleasing the world. Now is the time to please yourself. Remember, you are perfect and complete even when you are alone. If my words today made you feel lighter, please help me share this video. Perhaps out there, a fellow peer of ours is struggling in loneliness and needs a spiritual support like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we don't lose each other on this journey of healthy and peaceful living. Thank you for listening to me for the past 2 hours. I wish you a gentle, self-contained, and proud old age. I am Dr. David. See you in the next videos. Would you like me to translate another script or assist with anything else for your channel?